Hey gang, it's Amanda Nyberg here, registered dietitian, and I'm excited to bring you this holiday tip, how to get breakfast on the table for a crowd in a flash. I'm here with Laura's Lean, partnering to bring you holiday tips to keep you on track over the next 6 weeks. 6 weeks, 5 weeks, I don't know. The holiday season is coming so quickly. Last week we made a yummy meatball recipe, and I actually had so many people tag me on that. I love seeing you recreate these recipes. Today we're making a burrito slow cooker recipe that you can plug in at night and wake up for breakfast for the entire family. So let's get started. I am obsessed with this recipe. We are starting with Laura's Lean's 96% fat-free. It's a super lean recipe. Typically, like a breakfast burrito calls for a lot of ground sausage. So what I did with this recipe is I kind of switched it up a little bit. I added the pound of Laura's Lean's ground beef, which is super lean, so much leaner than the ground sausage. So it's really going to cut the fat almost in half from your traditional kind of breakfast burrito. So we're starting with that. You can see I love how when you cook up Laura's beef, there's very little grease. You know, a lot of times a recipe will say, you know, brown the beef and then drain it. And you don't ever have to drain Laura's, and I love that. So I've got all that beautiful beef. Hey guys, do you have this? This little meat chopper will save your life. It is such a fun, it is definitely a healthy holiday tip, that's for sure. It's a great stocking stuffer, so definitely grab up one of these. Now, I already have my sausage already browned up, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that and let those two kind of cook together. And that flavor of the two meats combined is going to be really good. So I'm going to leave that there and let that continue to cook a little bit. Then this is kind of like a Mexican twist burrito. Well, I guess all burritos are Mexican. I don't know. So we're going to chop up some onions and peppers. But what I love about this kind of breakfast casserole is you can put in it whatever you want. So I already have a bunch of onions and peppers diced up. Don't you love how small that dice is? One of my favorite kitchen tools is one of these choppers. There's so many of them that you can find. Another great holiday gift if you are looking for something to get someone in your camp. These little choppers make meal prep so much easier. And the key is to get these diced really fine, and this sucker does it so well. You can find them anywhere, but look at that. So nice and easy. Look how fast that was. If you don't have a fun little onion chopper, veggie chopper, then you can also, again, just take your veggies and get a nice knife, and you want to get them really nice and small. And just dice those up. And we're going to add these peppers and onions to our ground beef mixture and kind of saute those up just a smidge, okay? So I'm going to add a bunch of those in there. Oh, it smells so good already. I love this because all the flavors, there's not a lot of, really we only use like salt and pepper because all the flavors of the onions and the peppers with that ground beef and the sausage kind of melt together and make such a yummy concoction. So I'm going to let that kind of simmer a little bit while I'm prepping my slow cooker. Okay, so we're going to use, get this out of the way. This recipe is so simple. I love it. It comes together super quick, so you don't have to spend a ton of time in the kitchen. So all I have is my slow cooker, and I sprayed it with a little avocado oil spray. I love this stuff. You could use any type of like pan coater. You just want to kind of coat the inside so your mixture doesn't stick. Your first layer is going to be those frozen hash browns. So those are at the bottom. So I've already got those kind of sitting in there ready to go. Then I've got 12 eggs. I forgot my whisk here. I've got 12 eggs that I am going to whisk up. Super easy, so I've already got 10 in there. So I'm cooking today, guys. I am cooking today. So I'm gonna quickly whisk those up and get them nice and combined. So just like a dozen eggs. This recipe actually makes a huge casserole. I'm gonna be eating 2 of them over the next couple of days, so I can't wait. I'm gonna share them with my friends. And then I just have a cup of milk. If you are dairy-free, you could use coconut milk, you could use almond milk, easy substitution there. But I've got just some nice milk, and it's gonna create this kind of yummy, nice little egg mixture that we're gonna put together. And then again, remember, these spices that we're using, so simple. We're just gonna use some fresh pepper. I like a lot of pepper in my eggs, and then some fresh salt. So salt and pepper in those eggs. We've got that all mixed up. And then the last thing that you'll need in terms of ingredients, remember, I'm gonna post the recipe in the comments below, so don't feel like you have to be jotting all this down. Plus, when you go to Laura's Lean's website, we've got a lot of coupons and stuff that you can grab, so you'll want to pick that up too. And then I've got 2 cups of shredded cheese, so it's gonna be so good. All right, so here we go. Now we're just gonna load, kind of layer this mixture together. So I've got my ground beef that is nice and cooked up. And we're gonna add that first. With that, peppers, you can add more peppers, you can add less peppers. Again, totally up to you. So I'm gonna put just a layer of that ground beef mixture in there. And then I'm gonna sprinkle some of that cheese in between it. Put that in there. And then I'm gonna put another layer of this ground beef in there. So good. I wish there was smell-o-vision so you could smell how good this mixture is. And then I'm gonna add the rest of that cheese right back here. Pour that cheese on top. Come look at this. Check it out. Look how yummy that looks. I've got the hash browns on the bottom. I've got a layer of the ground beef. I've got cheese, more ground beef, more cheese. All together. So easy. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is get these yolks nice and mixed up. All I'm going to do is pour this egg mixture right over top of it. And voila, guys, we're done. We are done. So this bad boy will cook for about 8 hours on low. So if you have like a crock pot or a slow cooker that has like a timer, you may kind of delay that start just so it doesn't overcook, or you can cook it for about 2 to 3 hours on high, so it will cook really fast. So I'm gonna plug this sucker in and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a cook. And then I've got one that's already ready, so you can kind of see. Take a look at that. How yummy does that look? So good. And there's so many different ways that you can serve this to your guests. You could actually even make this low carb. It's actually not that high in carbs. I know it's got that layer of potatoes, but it's really not that bad. But you could actually take the potatoes completely out and make it super low carb if you wanted to. It really almost kind of comes out like a quiche, so your guests could wrap it up in the burrito and make like a breakfast burrito, or they could just eat it just like right out of the pan. It's so simple. Serve yourself. I like to serve it with, look at this. Look how yummy that looks. So easy. I've got some salsa. I've got some guacamole, so you can kind of make like a really fun breakfast spread in the morning. You're gonna look like a gourmet chef, I promise. And then all your guests have to do is just roll these up and eat them. I'll probably end up freezing a bunch of these because you can really kind of freeze the leftovers. So voila! Quick and easy breakfast for you to get on the table the day after Thanksgiving, or maybe even Thanksgiving morning. Super fun. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys today was another yummy skinny cocktail. And actually today we're making a pomegranate mojito. How fun does that sound? So let me get all my stuff out of the way. Last week's Skinny Moscow Mule was a huge hit. I saw a bunch of you guys making that, so I love it. Don't make the mistake I did and shake it in a shaker because that was a mess. So this recipe, you can actually do so many different things with this recipe. Because you could kind of make a pomegranate champagne, like Bellini or something with it, because it does have champagne. It also has rum. So the version that I'm going to make is more of a mojito mix. So I'm actually starting with a couple of glasses here. I'm going to grab a couple of some ice to kind of stick in there with these. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I've got these little pomegranate seeds. It just makes it so festive. You're going to put these in there. Again, your guests are going to think you worked really hard when they get this cocktail. So I like to start with light pomegranate juice. It's not always easy to find light pomegranate juice. So if you can't find light pomegranate juice, you can also just take some pomegranate juice and mix it half and half with some soda. So this is like a lime flavored soda, and that's really going to cut those kind of calories and stuff kind of in half. And it's going to mix really nicely with the bubbly of the champagne. So we start with some light pomegranate juice, and then we have some fresh lime juice that I have juiced right here. That's where it gets that little mojito mix to it. So I'm going to squeeze some of that fresh lime juice in there. And then we have a little bit of rum, a little bit of champagne, mix it all together, and we are cooking, guys. So I'm going to pour that lime juice in there. I'm going to pour just a little bit of this light pomegranate in there. I'm going to pour some of this rum. That's why I was like, you could ex-nay the rum and just serve it with the champagne. And then I'm going to top it off with the champagne. And look how pretty this looks. This would be such a fun little cocktail to use at, look at that. You can kind of see the little pomegranate things down at the bottom. Cheers. Let me take a drink. Very refreshing, super yummy. You're going to love it. So in the comments below, I'm going to post this so easy breakfast burrito that you're definitely going to want to serve to your entire family. I'm also going to post this pomegranate mojito for you guys to try. Tune in next week. We're going to be right back here next Sunday, 3 p.m., making an entree. We have a meatloaf left and we have a lasagna left. Again, quick and easy meals that you're going to be able to get on the table for your family through the holidays, so we can kind of omit that holiday rush. So I hope to see you then. If you found this information helpful, please use the share button and share it with your friends and family so they can enjoy it too. We'll see you next week. Bye.